Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So this story is it's about almost 2 weeks old, right? Didn't know if I wanted to talk about it because, I talk about this subject, I've talked about it a few times, the elemental P especially like the transgender community, whatever. But this was like an horrific event. And when it first came across, one of my news feeds, and you see the video, they say it's a woman who did this, and it's like, man, that woman is crazy. But without even listening to the video, just watching it, when you see this person is got out the car. You see them walk across the camera and doing what they're doing just by walking. You can instantly tell that this was not a woman. Just instantly, like the way this person was walking, the mannerisms. It's not a woman. It's a sassy ass dude. Like a gay dude, a transgender, whatever you want to call it, elemental P person. You can see it, but then you go, and this is what like disturbs me when I see stories like this, because you click on Google, Yahoo, or whatever, and it'll say, one says, you see different news outlets. One say disturbing video shows suspect run over victim, suspect arrested on charges. Houston man runs over, kissed and stabbed by his attacker. Kiss of death, suspect runs victim over twice. Woman rams man in street twice, kisses him, then stabs him. Then, suspect shows suspect. Nobody wants to say, most people just saying suspect. But then you can thank Fox News says transgender suspect runs over fatally and fatally takes out the man. And the point I want to make is, when you talk about, or when this community is in the news, it's rarely and I'm just going to say it out there. Number one, to understand that when it comes to stuff like this, I follow the law of the scriptures. And so, how I feel, you can try to placate, you can try to, define, change, whatever the case you may want to, whatever the case, but you'll know how I feel. That it's just something not right about this. About the thinking just cannot be right. And you notice that the majority of the time that you hear about these people in the news, it's rarely anything positive. You ever notice that? Whether it's against them or for them, but it's nothing very rarely positive. I see stories all the time about, transgender people, whatever, men being taken out, deleted by folks. And then there's like an uproar, or the stories that try to make it seem like, the victim, because they are the victim, but that it's unwarranted. They don't know why it's happening. People just, being homophobic in this kind of case. But then when you actually read the stories and you go to different, outlets, you realize that the majority of the time that the crimes that happen against them is because the other person didn't know what they were. It's like they were lied to. You can just, like, it was one story where a guy was a high school football player, whatever, went to a guy's apartment, ended up taking him out, deleting him or whatever, but he got acquitted. But it was like, dude, he thought that the person was a woman, but then once he found out he wasn't, and scientists and doctors will tell you, like, it's like what they say, like sex and murder, the neurons and the protons and the all them kind of tons that be going through your mind, synapses and all that kind of stuff. It's like the same. You using the same, like I say, the neurons, protons, all that kind of stuff. They're using the same thing, but it's like like a real thin line between the two of them. So your emotions for both of them are really the same, except one is for pleasure and one is for, well, it depends on kind of mindset you got. One for pleasure, one for pain, one for destruction. So when you get someone in so you got to see this one. So you got to think about this. This is why things like this got to be talked about. I don't know if they talk about it in therapy. I don't know. But when you have someone in a certain situation and you get them aroused and, sexually, it's just so you get them aroused sexually or whatever the case may be, and they still in that mindset, and then all of a sudden they find out that you are not who you say you are. You are not what you say you are. Those same emotions, all that stuff is still there. So now you are playing a dangerous game. And when you get something happens to you violently and you want to, you cry foul, it's like, dude, if you are deceptive, I hate to say it, but you cannot control another person's actions when they feel they've been betrayed or deceived, especially on something like that, especially if they are not that type of person. If they sexually do not think like that. If they're a heterosexual male, let me just say it. You get a heterosexual male and you make him believe that you are a female, a born female. You're not giving, because come on now, common sense is everybody thinking that it's you. When you look at me, you think I was born a male, a man. Should have. If I see a woman walking down the street, and and it looks like a woman, quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, whatever the case may be, I should assume or should know. Shouldn't have to assume. Should just be. You should know that it's a woman. If it's not, then it should be stated that somehow it needs to come out immediately. Hey, this person, hey, I was not born a woman. I was born a man. I changed over, blah, blah, blah. Are you still interested? Yes or no? Boom. Hell no. I'm out of here. It's just like if a man and woman date and they're dating and they meet and they go out for coffee or something like that and they date. And if the man or the woman has kids, I'm gonna need you need to put it out there. Especially if it looks like it's gonna be serious. You be like, hey, look, I got children. Oh, well, I got kids too. Okay, great. I have kids. I don't have kids. I don't want no kids. Blah blah. And in the story, I mean, it's just, hey, oh, I got a record. Hey, I'm a convicted felon. This ain't third. Can't keep a job. Blah blah. But I own my own business. Things like that. Those are important things. I'm sorry. Those things are just important, especially if you're gonna get sexually involved with somebody. Oh yes, you damn well should better tell everybody the truth before then, up front. Because again, once people feel like they're being deceived, like I say, bad things can happen. But anyway, I want to go ahead and tell this story because then I have another one. I'm going to tag along with it that just may make some people upset. But let's get into this kind of. It said Houston transgender suspect runs over, fatally stabs man, says the police. Karan Fisher accused of running over, stabbing Stephen Henderson in Houston. It said the suspect allegedly seen on video running over a man twice with a car before straddling, kissing him, and fatally stabbing him multiple times in broad daylight has been charged with murder. Karan Fisher, 20, is described in court documents obtained by KTRK-TV as a man, but is referred to as a she by the Houston Police Department. The homicide took place around 7:50 p.m. May 3rd, police said in the press release. Neighbor video obtained by KTRK appears to show an intentional attack on the man who said to be on his way to pick up his mail. Now, you got questions, you wonder like, okay. It says it show. Hold on, let me continue. It shows a victim identified and reports as 64-year-old Stephen Anderson turning around to look at the screeching white car barreling toward him before it struck him and reversed to hit him a second time. The suspect, seen in all black, then appeared with a knife in hand before flipping Anderson over, straddling him, kissing him, and then stabbing him 9 times. When you look at this picture, it's like, my God, if that's a woman, she got a strong face. And it got a wig on. Got a struggle, and he's wearing a struggle wig. The suspect then tries to get into another car unsuccessfully before jumping over the victim's body and taking off. So see, there is a mental illness there somewhere. Something is mentally wrong. This is why, like I said, you have to call a spade a spade. There's something not right. If somebody is on drugs, right? You remember the whole crack epidemic when they put all our brothers and sisters in jail for just having one little crack rock. You remember that? So shout out to George Bush Sr. But then when them white folks start, slumping on them opioids, now it's a mental health issue and they need therapy and this, that, and the third. Things are different. But it's always been a mental health issue because drugs affect your mind. Alcohol affects your mind. Sugar affects your mind, all in a negative way. So if it affects your mind is mental. So now your mental health is jacked up. This is a mental health issue, period. If you think you are something that you are not, and you want the world to accept you for something that you are not, and they won't if you come out ahead of time and say something. So you will wait till after the fact to say something, thinking, okay, we've had intimate relations. Now I'm a man. Oh, there is something mentally wrong with you. Like seriously, but I want you to keep that in mind as I keep reading. Officer, but something, like I say, something is wrong with a person who runs over somebody twice, runs over, backs over them, then gets out the car, walks over to the body. Now, mind you, there are people, this is broad daylight. People, neighbors watching this go on. Goes over to the person, turns them over, sits on top of them, kisses them, and then stabs them. You gonna tell me there is nothing mental with this person? Seriously. Officers was called to the scene regarding someone who failed to stop and help another person. Anderson was found by officers with multiple stab wounds, already dead. Let's see. It has a 2022 booking photo of Karan Fisher, who was arrested by Harris County constables for an open warrant for prostitution and theft of services. Amazing. This person was born in 2003, so they barely 21 now, and so that was like 2020. This last year, 2020. Witnesses led officers to the suspect at a nearby location. She was detained. Forget that. She was detained and questioned by detectives prior to being charged and taken to the Harris County Jail. Local TV station KPRC said police do not know of a relationship between the suspect and the victim. No other relationship between the suspect and the victim. Here's what I want to know. Here's what's missing. This person was in the car. Does this person live in that neighborhood? Does this person know that person? The LMNOP person has a history of prostitution arrest. Could this have been a transaction gone wrong? Could have been. Could have went to that person's house and, met that person there, or tried to solicit themselves to that person and the person said no or whatever. I mean, who knows? Fisher was reportedly on community supervision for evading arrest in 2023, according to KTRK. He was also charged with prostitution in 2021, but the case was dismissed. Online jail record says Fisher next court appearance is May 24. Her bond amount has been set to $2.125 million. Damn, that's a crazy number. Where they get the 1.25 from? But anyway, like I'm saying, this person is sick. This is like probably, and I'll put the link in the description box so y'all can see the video for yourself. But this is crazy. And you're talking about a kid. Let's just be honest. A kid, a baby, 20, 21 years old. Just not mentally right. And you want to know what is the backstory as to why this person is like this. But here's the thing. When you are mentally disturbed, you look like born one thing, but think you're something else. And no one is going to truly accept you for that, except your like kind. I always wonder, it might be primitive, it might be segregation, but I always wonder, why, people who think like that can't have live in their own community. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I said, it's just something about it. And when I say I ain't trying to like say just be, I'm like, look, well, my thing is, and the reason why I say it is because they always want us to accept it, and we won't. And if we don't, they want to take your job, they want to take all the way you make your money, they want to destroy you for being insensitive and homophobic. No one is afraid of you. Number one, I don't know why they use that word phobic, phobia, homophobia, stuff like that, transphobic. Nobody's scared of them people. Well, hell, I guess you should have, because they might run you over and kill you. But no one is scared of you because of what you are. They just don't just to say, yeah, man, just don't bother me. No, I don't try to force me to accept what you do. You can't do it. I won't do it. I mean, it's just come on now. Just like you won't accept what you was born as. Like I said, I'm not gonna bother you, so you just don't bother me. So I understand. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you feel that strong in your convictions, then I mean, create your own neighborhoods. If you want, like, what was that story? Like, the one of these, like this LMNOP couple wanted a cake, and the store was like, no, we're not making that cake because we got strong Christian values, biblical values, and we just don't believe in it. We're not gonna serve it. We don't have to. It's a private business. And they was up in the uproar. And they want everybody to follow them and say, hey, just shut this place down. A lot of people are like, man, we ain't shutting the place down. Matter of fact, we're finna order more cakes because about time somebody stands up to their convictions. But because you stand up to your convictions and we got to accept it. We stand up to ours. And so we get, and we get chastised for it. And that ain't right. But again, it's a mental health issue, I feel. But what's funny is, and the segue to this story is, the little country of Peru. Ain't that in South America? Not sure if y'all heard about this, but MSN.com, by way of New York Post, says Peru classifies transgender, non-binary, and intersex people as mentally ill. Amazing. Let's get into it right quick. The Peruvian government has officially classified transgender, non-binary, and intersex people as mentally ill. The controversial decision was made to ensure. Let me see. Okay, the controversial decision was made to ensure the country's public health services could guarantee full coverage of medical attention for mental health for the trans community. The Peruvian Health Ministry explained, according to the Telegraph. The decree will supposedly alter the language in the Essentials Health Insurance Plan to reflect that trans and intersex people have a mental disorder. LBGTQ plus outlet Pink News reported. Despite the change, trans and other LGBT people will not be forced to undergo conversion therapy, the health ministry insisted in a statement issued on Friday, the outlet reported. That community activist group across Peru, however, slammed the decision as a major step backwards in the fight for their rights and safety. 100 years after the criminalization of homosexuality, the at Mensa Peru has nothing better to do than to include trans people in the category of mental illness. Somebody named Pacaya, director of Outfest Peru, wrote on X. That's in Spanish, I guess, so I can't read that. It said, we demand and we will not rest until it's repealed, they added. Percy Maita Tristan, a medical researcher at Lama Scientific University of the South, told the Telegraph that the decision showed a lack of awareness around the complexity of the LGBTQ plus issues. Quote, you cannot ignore the context that this is happening in a super conservative society where the LGBT community has no rights and where labeling them as mentally ill opens the door for conversion therapy. He explained. Well, I said they're not gonna make you do conversion therapy, but I brought that up because, like I said, I mean, let's say, here's the thing. I'll put it like this. Let's say it's not a mental illness, okay? Let's just say you're thinking different than everybody else. It can't be easy to live in a society where people shame you, look down upon you, and some people want to commit violence against you. I'm not gonna bring up this whole they're just like black people. No, it's nothing like that. I don't care. Nobody can talk about our plight. Nobody. I don't care what the heck you do. Because what you do, it can be changed. Anything that's mental, I don't care what you think, what you say. It can be changed. It can be altered. Everybody's mentality can be altered one way, shape, or form. Just got to figure out a way to do it. Hell, they put you on enough drugs to do it. So why so why this can't be? People say they're born like that. Okay, whatever. It can still be altered. Actually, you're born not knowing how to read, write, walk, or talk. But eventually, over time, you learn it. You learn the skill, and you learn whatever language that you are around. That's around your neighborhood. So it's all mental. It's just how you're raised and what you want to believe. Now, everybody has things that they want to explore, and these people want to, explore their sexuality differently. They think that, hey, they may think I might like this. But what I want to say is, if you live in a society where people see you as an outcast, and I get these, matter of fact, I get these ads all the time and I block them. I don't know how I block them, and then a new one will pop up for like therapy. And I don't understand why. I don't know where they come from. Therapy and Temu. It's like the two ads I see all the doggone time on you when I'm watching YouTube. Go figure. But if you are, so if you're in a society where people look at you, it can't be hard. I mean, it can't be easy to be able to, to just navigate. You have to get some kind of help, some kind of therapy. Heck, it's regular, normal, everyday people who go through things every day and they get therapy. Like I said, I get these damn doggone ads all the time. Just people just going through different normal things in normal life, and for some reason feel like they can't navigate through it. They go to therapy. Shoot, they got kids in college, professionals, they go see therapists. So explain to me why you couldn't use this, see the positive in this if you're part of that community, and use it to go get therapy. Just to talk to somebody. And no, they may not tell you what you want to hear, but I don't care what you're going through in life. You have to talk to somebody who's going to tell you something that you don't like. Period. If you're doing something that just is not normal, yes, you're going to find people who are not going to sit there and say, hey, you're doing a great job, blah, blah, blah. But if you're going to continue this, then you definitely need to talk to someone who can help you in your journey, who can maybe, may be able to change your ideology of what you think and how you feel. Or if not, help you manage and deal with it and help you cope with the rest of the world, because the world ain't changing. The world's not going to change. The world is going to continue to, feel the way they feel, just like we can say, hey, I know racism. I said in videos, racism is not going nowhere. You got school boards who are still trying to put Confederate generals' names back on schools that were taken out 4 years ago, and they voted to bring them back damn near unanimously. And I say, and you got kids who supporting this stuff. So like I say, racism is not going anywhere. So again, people who are not in agreement, and I'm one of them, with this lifestyle, not going anywhere. So I mean, like I said, you're gonna need to talk to somebody. You're gonna need to talk to somebody. But what I want to know is what would happen if that law or that rule, whatever, in Peru comes to America. Would it ever come to America? Not, I don't think in the liberal sense, but maybe when the conservatives get back in office, you never know. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story, y'all. These stories. Leave your comments below, man. Let's have a conversation, y'all. Also, support the channel. There's 4 ways you can support the channel non-monetarily. Don't cost you a dime, maybe a couple of days, maybe a couple of minutes out your day. Is like, share, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, you can do that Take but a couple of minutes, cost you nothing. But if you do want to support monetarily, you can super thanks, super chat, or you can go in the description box. You got some links down there you can click on to help support the channel. But however you support, like I say, I appreciate it. I thank you, no matter how you do it. But with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.